Next on Worcester News tonight, a workshop aims to keep women safe while keeping alive the spirit of the late Vanessa Marcotte. Plus, bringing people together. The College of the Holy Cross invites all to a special service to celebrate diversity. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. More than 2 years ago, after the murder of Vanessa Marcotte in Princeton, the foundation created in her name is stepping up efforts to teach women how to protect themselves from a potential attack. Members of the foundation say they want to instill women with the proper knowledge so a tragedy like Vanessa's doesn't ever happen again. Our Cam Jandro joins us now live with the details. Cam?
Anna, the Vanessa T. Marcotte Foundation says 58% of female runners have experienced some form of harassment, but their goal isn't not to just help runners, it's to help all women and reduce violence against them because they say it's time to fight back.
The spirit of Vanessa Marcotte lives on through her family and friends.
Our mission at the foundation is to empower women to live boldly and fearlessly.
Her cousin, Caroline Tocci, and members of the Vanessa T. Marcotte Foundation are teaching women how to defend themselves. Thursday, dozens in Westboro learned different techniques on how to escape an attacker.
One tactic is a palm strike, so that's a really important self-defense tool to know. Also a wrist grab, how to get away from someone who might grab you.
Marcotte was killed in her hometown of Princeton in August 2016. She had left her mother's house to go out for a run. Sheriff Lou Evangelitis, whose office sponsored Tuesday's workshop, says the classes go beyond the physical part.
Situational awareness is a big part of what we're teaching people tonight, to be aware of your circumstances, your surroundings, and also let folks know before you enter potentially dangerous situations.
The workshop also teaches women to draw attention to themselves if they are being attacked and arm themselves with pepper spray or even jewelry.
And with these simple, easy moves we've got going here, anybody can do it. It doesn't matter what size, shape you are, everybody can do it. And that one move can save your life.
Tocci is the co-founder of the Marcotte Foundation. She wants the workshops, as well as Vanessa's story, to leave a lasting impact.
Hopefully they'll never have to use any of these self-defense tactics, but I hope they at least learn one or two self-defense tactics that they could use in their own lives if they have to.
Now, the sheriff says he's hoping to schedule more of these workshops all across Worcester County. He says if they do, all of the information will be posted on the Vanessa T. Marcotte Foundation's website. In the studio tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
The Worcester Police Department swears in 7 new officers Tuesday. 4 of the 7 went through the Worcester Police Academy, and the 3 others took the civil service exam outside of the city. Chief Stephen Sargent says the department recently started a new class of recruits and are now at the budgeted number of officers for the first time in a while. The chief says it's always exciting to welcome a new group of officers into the city.
It's exciting. It gets all the police officers, the whole department. It's a shot of adrenaline for all of us to get in there and to get these new guys in there. Everybody wants to help them and train them and be part of their process. And like I said, it's one big family, so it's just adding to our family.
Sargent says the class of 30 recruits began last week. They'll now go through the full 26-week program before becoming Worcester police officers. The College of the Holy Cross held its annual Multifaith Community Prayer Tuesday, welcoming students, faculty, staff, and faith leaders of all different religions from the community to celebrate together. One student was chosen to represent each different faith and light a candle representing their tradition. This year's theme was peace, so each faith leader was invited to share a reading reflecting that. Holy Cross's Mary Beth Kearns Barrett says they want their Catholic identity to be strong and also wants all people of all faiths to feel welcome. She says this message can positively affect students even after graduating.
That when they go out into the workforce and then live in communities, they're going to work with people of all different faith backgrounds and people who don't come from a particular faith tradition, and to recognize that they have things in common, that they can work together for really important goals that we have. I think this really helps a lot to kind of symbolize that, and I hope it's a memory that they always have and take with them as they go forward.
Holy Cross students say this annual service has opened their eyes to the amount of diversity at the college.
And to me, it was just wonderful to learn that I wasn't the only Protestant on campus, and not necessarily just Protestant, but there's Jewish, Hindu, every religion you can possibly think of. There might be someone who identifies with that. And to me, that's very special to have this one event a year to kind of all come together and see who's out there.
This is the 8th year the college has held the Multifaith community prayer at the beginning of the second semester. They also hold one at the beginning of the school year as well. PawSox management in Worcester tonight, meeting with the Worcester Cultural Coalition to discuss the arts community's role in the new ballpark. Team President Charles Steinberg says Tuesday they discussed how to make the ballpark look like Worcester. Ideas included artists displaying their work at the ballpark and surrounding hotels and hosting performances from local musicians. He says the ballpark will be more than a baseball facility. It'll be a cultural icon in the city. And the community's input is valuable to the design.
It's like a fisherman who comes in with the catch. You know, these ideas are fresh. We want this ballpark to look and feel and taste and smell like Worcester. You're going to hear us say that over and over because it's true.
Steinberg says this coming Monday they have a meeting with the ballpark architects and the ideas gathered tonight will be presented. Slick roads remain in some parts of Worcester, even 2 days after the storm. The city's DPW says there's less salt on side streets, so the snow and ice will take longer to melt. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
Side streets are coated in snow and ice in some areas in Worcester. DPW Commissioner Paul Moosey says it takes longer for the snow to melt here because of the way the city treats the roads.
The main lines get the most salt. They're the ones that we want to get to bare pavement the soonest. The side streets, you know, they're sanded well, but there's not a lot of salt, so the melting takes a little longer.
The freezing temperatures caused a 2-hour delay at Worcester Public Schools Tuesday.
Initially, we were going to try to start for a regular start, but then we looked at the latest weather report last night around 6 and saw that with the wind chill that it was going to get below minus 22, so we said we can't have that.
School delayed even further for some families waiting at a few bus stops. Superintendent MAUREEN BINIENDA says 5 of Worcester's buses were running up to 25 minutes late from the winter weather.
Some of the buses, the way they were in the bus yard, were kind of a little stuck in the snowbank for a little bit. So it took a little while to get them out.
The district's bus contractor says they've been preparing the buses by starting them a day early and using a fuel additive to avoid freezing. In a statement, Durham School Services says they experienced delays due to road conditions. Dave Faribault feels lucky his children didn't have to wait longer for their bus Tuesday morning. He made sure they were bundled up and says standing in the cold for a few minutes is enough.
I feel my hands already freezing cold on my toes. I think I just saw the bus come by, so it shouldn't be too much longer.
A warm-up on the way will help clean the roads. Moosey says temperatures in the negatives make it difficult for the salt to do its job melting snow.
And the salt that is out there, it's going to start being more effective now that the temperature's coming up.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Driving in today's cold temperatures can also be difficult. Snow stuck in tires can cause issues, and the cold can affect your car batteries. So auto shops are reminding people how to prep your car for winter. Our Brittany Schaefer has the details.
The most common call Ramstrom service centers had in the past few days is shaking vehicles. They say to avoid this, to chip away at any snow or ice stuck in your tires.
Ramstrom Service Center to Eric speaking.
The cold weather and recent snow is keeping the phone lines busy at auto shops like Ramstrom Service Center.
It's been very busy. So the cold weather always has problems. People have problems with their batteries, windshield wipers, a lot of complaints with shaking because of the ice packed in the wheels.
Manager Derek Ramstrom says since the snowstorm, they've received dozens of calls of shaking vehicles. He says while it's an easy fix, it can be dangerous if it's not taken care of.
A lot of times people don't understand that the snow gets packed in and it only takes a few ounces to throw off the balance of the tire. So it can feel like a violent shake, like your tire's falling off.
The frigid cold temperatures gave construction company owner Nick DiPilato some trouble Tuesday morning.
I just basically got it here, going 24 miles an hour.
He says it's unfortunately common when the temperatures dip below zero.
Truck wouldn't start because I think that the fuel filter is frozen, or the line of the diesel truck is frozen. Just too cold.
Another common issue during the winter is losing air pressure in tires. And for Justin LeBlanc, he's already had multiple flats this year.
The cold air definitely took the air out of it. And from, say, like a 2-mile drive, I noticed my tire was half flat.
Ramstrom says a major hazard which can lead to substantial damage is when drivers leave snow on top of their vehicle.
People don't realize how heavy that is, and at high rates of speed, I mean, it can cause accidents, it can damage your windshields, it can slide down in front of your windshield, and then you can't see where you're going, so it can cause all kinds of problems.
Ramstrom says to avoid any issues, to make sure you top off your fluids because they can thicken during these cold temperatures. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
In an effort to combat trash and litter in Worcester, City Manager Ed Augustus suggests a new trash program at tonight's City Council meeting. The 8-point proposal would be paid for with a 50-cent increase in the cost of each Yellow City trash bag. Augustus says the biggest change will be using clear plastic drawstring bags for recycling instead of open containers. And during a time where people are looking to ban plastic bags, he says these will be recyclable.
When the bags are broken at the recycling station, they will be then baled together and they'll be turned into future recycling bags. So the bags that people get for recycling will be made of previously used recyclable bags. So we're not adding to the number of bags. They will continually be recycled and part of the process.
The plan also includes keeping transfer stations open later and reducing the cost of disposing bulk items. As more retail marijuana shops open in Massachusetts, Cultivate Holdings in Leicester is lifting its self-imposed purchase limits on weekdays. When Cultivate first opened, people were waiting in line for hours. The business limited what customers could purchase to help reduce wait times. They're now allowing people to purchase the state's legal limit on weekdays, but will continue their limit on weekends, where they are still sometimes seeing wait times up to 3 hours. The state's legal limit is 1 ounce of marijuana or 5 grams of marijuana concentrate. The United Way of Central Massachusetts is celebrating its 99th birthday and handing out 99 balloons to community leaders and business partners in Worcester. President and CEO Tim Garvin says the United Way of Central Mass bylaws were accepted January 23, 1920. Tuesday, he stopped by the city manager's office to give him a balloon and bring free coffee pass to Birch Tree Bread Company. He says their partnership with Go Local allows them to hand out free items to people across the city.
Agency leaders, just to say, join with us, be part of our 99 years, and then think of the next 99. How can we continue to make a difference, to lift up lives, to strengthen community, and make this place great? Greatest friends and partners.
Wednesday marks the organization's official 99th birthday.